I'm having contractions. I know I've heard about them, but they hurt so much. I think I'm going to be hospitalized.
Oh my God. Does that mean you're going to give birth today?
I think so. When can you come? You need to get here as soon as you can.
I've got some stuff going on, so I can't come right now.
What? I thought we agreed that you were going to be here when I give birth.
I know that, but I don't think I can make it. So you're going to have to go through it alone.
Seriously? Why? I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm having my first baby, and I'm feeling a little nervous, so I want you to come. What are you doing right now? Is it more important than accompanying me? I mean, where are you? I thought you were at home.
Well, I'm at my parents' house right now, but I'm busy.
What? Why are you there? Your wife is in the middle of labor right now. Are you telling me that there's other things that you think are more important?
Listen, I didn't tell you because I knew you would get angry if I did. But I'm thinking of having my parents move in with us, so I'm helping them to prepare right now.
I beg your pardon? What kind of joke is this? I'm seriously starting to feel like I can't afford it anymore.
That's why I told you that you'd get angry if I tell you the truth. So I was thinking of moving in when you are in the hospital for labor. If you're not physically here with me, I don't have to worry about you messing around. Once my parents start living with us, you won't kick them out, will you?
Are you serious? I can't believe you're talking about that matter to me who's about to have a baby.
The house we have now is big enough. My parents can live together with us. By doing that, we don't have to visit them every weekend or during the holidays.
I told you, I'm going back to my parents' house.
With my mom, you'll be fine. I want you to go back to work right after the baby is born.
I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm doing my best. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not going back to work right after the baby's born. I mean, there's no way I can do that.
No, you have to do it because I'm unemployed right now. You're a nurse anyway. My parents said it's better for the baby.
Then why don't you go to work? That's the first thing. What's wrong with you and your parents?
Jeez, don't get upset. Isn't it terrible? You're going to be a mom. That's not good for the child's education.
Shut up! I'm in too much pain. You quit your job without telling me and became unemployed? You will become a father soon. Don't you have the guts to be the breadwinner of the family?
I'm just doing easy chores at work. That job wasn't for me. I deserve better. Mom said that if you got married, you're supposed to raise your kids at home.
We're not living in the 18th century, Lupin. Anyway, are you sure you don't want to come here?
I told you, I can't. I need to rent a car and help my parents with the move. They are too old to carry heavy things on their own. That's why they're counting on me.
I'm relying on you too. I'm going to have a baby now. Your baby. Think about your priorities. Moving in shouldn't be the first priority, should it? Come here.
I can't. I just got the rental arranged. I've called my mom and dad too.
I'm really in a lot of pain and I'm so anxious.
You're a strong woman. You'll be fine. Besides, the baby will be born even though I'm not there with you, right? It's not like I'm the one who will give birth.
Did you understand what I've been telling you? I'm saying I want you to stay with me. Why don't you understand that?
Don't be selfish. I'm doing this for you. Mom says you can handle it alone.
Your mother isn't the one who's going to give birth. Are you going to listen to your mother rather than me, who is in labor right now?
My mother has been through this before. She's the one who gave birth to me. She said that you can handle it on your own. So don't worry, and you can count on me after the baby is born.
It's impossible.
Well, I know you're not happy about everything right now. After my parents move in with us, you'll be glad.
I won't. I can't live together with your mother. She doesn't have enough common sense.
Don't speak ill of my mother. She's just worried about us.
I'm not going to let you do this to me. Don't make me nervous. I can't take it anymore.
Well, good luck then. I'm going to go do some physical labor by helping my parents. Hey, isn't the baby born already? I'm almost done with the move.
The baby was born just now.
Oh, seriously? Just now? Isn't that a little late?
I couldn't get you on the phone. What's the big deal?
Oh, I just noticed the missed call. What could I do? I was driving and moving stuff. To be honest, you seemed angry and I didn't want to bother you.
Do you think I'd call just to complain about that under the circumstances I was in?
I thought so.
I was in pain for 21 hours and had an emergency C-section.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Was it a difficult delivery? That must have been tough.
Huh? You were talking as if you cared about nothing at all. I was told to call you to sign for the C-section.
What? The hospital needs my signature for that?
You didn't answer the call from the hospital too.
So, that was the hospital's phone number. I was afraid of unknown numbers, so I just ignored it. If you're going to call me from the hospital, just tell me so from the beginning.
I told you to pick up the phone in case they call in an emergency, right?
Really? I totally forgot about that. I'm sorry. But the baby was born, right?
My mother was so worried, she stayed with me. When I called her and told her you weren't coming, she rushed over.
What? Your mother? That's not good. Don't tell my mother, okay?
What do you mean?
She says, since you're married to me, my parents come first. And she also said you had to have a C-section because you're not good at childbirth. If you care about your child, you should have a natural birth, even if you have to push yourself a little. My mother also said that you don't know enough about being a mother.
Is that what you say to your wife, who just gave birth to your child?
That's what my mother said. Well, I guess there are things you're good at and things you're not good at, so I don't mind.
Already? You're so pathetic. I can't even cry.
What are you talking about?
Don't you want to see pictures of your baby?
Yeah, of course. I want to see the pic. But all babies look the same, right? They look like monkeys, and they're not even that cute.
Why do you say such terrible things? It's your own child.
I know, but unlike women, I wasn't pregnant, so I don't really feel it.
I can't believe it. I've been suffering physically and mentally.
You did a great job. Anyway, my parents have moved in. Mom's all fired up to take care of the baby. When you get back, leave the baby with Mom and go to work right away.
I told you that I'm going back to my parents' house, didn't I? Besides, I don't want to live with your parents.
Thinking about the family finances, wouldn't it be better if you go back to work right away?
I'll raise the baby by myself. I won't depend on your parents at all.
Don't worry about it. Worst case scenario, even if the baby misses her mother's milk, my mother said that she'll distract her with her own.
What? Her own? Don't ever say that again, even if it's a lie. That's disgusting.
Hey, you don't have to say that much. My parents have come all this way for you. How can you be so rude towards them, especially my mother?
Anyway, I'm tired. I need to rest. Please don't stress me out.
Jeez, is this the postpartum hysteria people are talking about? I bet the baby will be disappointed to have such an ogre for a mom.
I beg your pardon? This is unbelievable.
Anyway, tell me when you're getting out of the hospital, okay? I'll come to pick you up.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Don't call me.
I understand about your circumstances, but you're not allowed to go back to your parents' house. I'll prepare everything for you, so you must come back home.
My husband was like this after the baby was born. My mother was worried and kept my phone for a while to calm me down. I was disappointed at my husband, who had not helped with the housework since I was pregnant and had quit his job without even letting me know in advance. I had thought that things might change once the baby was born. However, after what happened this time, I finally realized that I no longer need such a horrible husband. I was ready to cut him out of my life now and forever.
Hey, you're getting out of the hospital today, right? Come on, give me an answer. I'm going to pick you up. You should be in a better mood by now. Mom's worried about you too. You're out late. Is something wrong?
What do you mean? I've already been discharged from the hospital.
No kidding. I didn't know about that.
That's because I didn't tell you.
I'm also being refused for a hospital visit. The nurse said you're being discharged today.
I told them that I was leaving the hospital today. I'm so glad you did what I asked you to do.
Why? Mom and Dad were mad at me for not letting them see you. And now you're lying to me. That's just too bad.
You guys were the ones who made me suffer from postpartum depression.
What? I told you that you'll have full support. Where are you now? You're not at home, are you?
I'm at my parents' house. I've got all the baby stuff pre-arranged. I don't know what kind of support you have over there, but I'm definitely more comfortable at my parents' house.
I told you not to go back to your parents' house. My parents come first.
I can't go back to live with a husband who neglects his wife during childbirth.
Are you still holding a grudge about that? Because if I don't do this, my parents won't move in with me.
Living together is out of the question.
See? I want to be a good son to my parents. I got married and we live in a big house, so I want to call my parents. Besides, my mom said she'd watch the baby for me. You're going to ignore that favor?
The only reason your mother offers to watch the baby is because you want me to go back to work immediately, right? It's not a favor. You're just doing it because it's more convenient for you. You don't care about my feelings at all.
I'm sure that you will be happy with the results if you live here.
Do you really think I can get along with your mother?
You should be thinking about how I feel too. You're being too uptight just because I'm unemployed right now.
You're the worst kind of scum. You're unemployed and you don't care about the baby at all.
What a thing to say. You've gone too far with your words.
It's true, isn't it? When I was pregnant, I was lying down because I was having morning sickness, and you told me to make dinner.
There it is. You know what people say? A woman can't forgive anything bad happened to her when she was pregnant forever. I'm sorry about that. But you weren't sick. You've been laying around all the time, so it's no big deal to stand up for a minute and make me dinner.
Huh? Have you ever done any research on pregnancy? Did you care? I bet you didn't. You didn't think about me and the baby. You only care about yourself.
I mean, it's not like I'm pregnant. I don't think I need to conduct any research about pregnancy. In the end, the baby was born safely.
I was carrying your child and you cared about nothing, scumbag. I was about to have a baby and you just quit your job without a second thought.
Not that again. I told you I'd get a job eventually.
I don't think so. I know that you're just going to make me work right away.
You are a nurse, right? You make good money. It's hard for me to get a job right away. It'll take time to find a job that suits me.
See? You're only looking out for yourself. You don't think about what's best for your child and wife. What's the right job for you anyway? I don't think there is a job in the world today that a gutless person can do.
What is this? A sermon? Why don't you just come home?
I'm not going home. I won't even see you anymore.
What are you talking about? Mom's angry. If you don't come back, I'll give you a sermon.
Don't you understand? I'm asking for a divorce.
Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. You just had a baby, didn't you?
Right after I mentioned the word divorce, you finally started talking about the baby. In the end, that's just because you don't want to get divorced. You're so selfish.
That's not what this is about.
Anyway, I'm getting a divorce. I've already decided.
I don't want to.
You may not like it, but I want a divorce. I'm going to get a lawyer and take you to court or whatever.
Hey, you don't have to go that far.
Also, I'm going to ask you to move out of the house you're living in.
Huh? My parents just moved in. I've put my parents' house on the market, so it's impossible to go back there. Who do you think you are, suddenly asking me to leave?
You don't think you own that house, do you?
We started living here after we got married, and it belongs to us as a couple.
Are you stupid? Of course not. That is the land and house in my name that I inherited from my grandfather.
But we lived here after we got married, so it's mine too, right?
That can't be true. You have no right to own it.
So I told my parents it's my house. I'm speaking about the truth anyway.
What did you say? How can it be your house if you don't have a job? I want to be honest, so I won't lie about my house being someone else's house. No matter what anyone says, that house is mine. I'll ask anyone who has nothing to do with it to leave.
You just want to look good in front of your parents.
I don't care about that.
Anyway, I'm not leaving and I'm not getting a divorce. My parents are mad at you, so if you apologize now, they'll let bygones be bygones.
I'm not going to apologize, and you don't have to let bygones be bygones.
You have become crazy after you had the baby. I can't believe you're torturing me like this.
I have something to protect now. I know exactly what's holding me back.
You're not talking about me, are you? I'm your husband. I'm the most important man in the family, and you're saying I'm in the way?
I'm glad you're aware of that. Anyway, I'm busy after the baby is born, and I'll divorce you even if I have to use a lawyer.
Hey, wait a minute.
After that, my husband didn't agree to the divorce. But my mother-in-law dared him to do it. Thanks to her that I was able to get him to fill out the divorce papers. In the end, the divorce was finalized.
Hey, how are you?
You're not paying for the child support. When are you going to pay it?
We've been talking to you about that too.
How can you contact me when you haven't paid even once? You should have put your thick skin and guts to find a job instead.
I want to pay for that. But you divorced and kicked me out of the house. I sold my parents' house, so we're in a cheap apartment complex now.
So what? That's all your fault.
I've started working too. It's not the right job for me, but I'm trying to make ends meet. I can't afford to pay for the child support. You wouldn't let me see my child unless I paid child support, right?
Yeah, I can't let you see your kid when you can't even fulfill your minimum responsibilities as a father.
I mean, the child will never know what her father looks like, you know? That's why I think the happiest thing for us is to start over again.
Are you insane?
I'm sorry if you're mad at me for not being there during the childbirth. I was an idiot. They say women will never forget about the bad things that happened to them when they were giving birth.
You really are an idiot. You definitely don't know what's wrong with you.
I know. You wanted me to sign the consent form, right? You were sad that it had to be your mother, weren't you? A C-section, that's a big deal, so you wanted your husband to make the decision.
If you really believe that, it's amazing on the contrary.
I'm correct, am I? You want me, your husband, to be responsible for it.
How is it possible that everything is so far off the mark?
Huh? Am I wrong? Oh, about my parents moving in together? I think moving in without permission was too much.
I feel like nothing I say now will make any sense to you. Seems like we're living in a different world.
Actually, my mom wants to see her grandkid every day. Anyway, our child is blood related, so let's not be so stubborn anymore.
I'm allowing her to see our child once a month if you pay for the child support.
I told you, that's difficult. Don't you feel sorry for me at all? Don't you understand how much we miss the child?
I don't care what someone who can't even pay child support feels.
If we start over, everything's gonna be okay.
Everything? I don't think so. That's just you guys, right? Just my abusive ex-mother-in-law and my inconsiderate ex-husband who never had a shred of compassion for me would be happy.
No, you got it all wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like the child would be better off with both parents together.
The child, huh? Have you ever asked for a picture of our child? Not even once, right?
It's because I want to see our child in person.
You just want my income and the house. You just use the child as an excuse to do that.
That's not true. It doesn't look like the house is for sale. Don't you think we should just go on and live together again?
All of us? What do you mean by that? You're not including your parents again, are you?
Well, they don't have a place to live either. They want to take care of their grandchild.
If you sold your parents' house, you must have a lot of money.
That's the retirement fund. They can't touch it.
How selfish can you people be? Are you telling me that I'm supposed to support you? And your parents want the money they can spend to play around?
I didn't say that. Dad's retired. It's only natural that they want to have some money for retirement.
They just want to spend the money I make and live in my house after retirement. And you want to live as a pimp too, right?
I'm not a pimp. I'm working right now.
Are you still working as a full-time employee?
I'm still working part-time, but I'm working 3 times a week. If I work diligently, I might be able to become a full-time employee in the future.
3 times a week? You're not a college student. If you don't work every day, you can't say you're making a living with your job.
But you're not working right now either, are you?
I'm on maternity leave. It's a different case.
It's more efficient for those who can make more money to work. I'll take care of the child. I'm not going to be able to work full-time 5 days a week.
I can't expect anyone who didn't try to find out anything about pregnancy and childbirth to raise a child, and I'm not going to start over. And I can't entrust my precious child to someone who only talks about children when making excuses to get what he wants.
If you keep talking like that, I won't even pay child support.
Can you at least pay me once and then tell me that?
Okay, I admit I was wrong. Please, just give me one more chance.
I've already given you plenty of chances. I thought things would change once we had a baby, but it turned out to be the opposite.
If you don't put it into words, I won't know.
What do you want me to say now? It's just that I've been accumulating so much that I've decided I can't do it anymore. You and your mother were both such lousy, selfish people.
You just gonna leave me? You have some good memories.
I can only come up with more bad memories than that.
We loved each other once, didn't we?
I feel like such a fool for having loved you back then, but the only thing that saved me was the birth of this baby. Anyway, I don't have a shred of love left for you.
How could you be so cold to me?
I could file for wage garnishment if I wanted to.
Please don't do that.
If you don't like it, don't contact me anymore. Get a more serious job and pay your child support exactly as you owe it. I'm going to sell that house and I'm going to start a new life somewhere else.
You won't even give me an address?
Of course not. As long as you don't pay child support, I'll ignore your calls. Goodbye. I don't know if we'll ever meet, but take care.
Please, don't leave me.
In the end, I never received any child support payment from my ex-husband. In order to find a new wife who could support him, Lupin has asked his relatives to introduce him to several women. I heard that even his friends are now distancing themselves from him. I have returned to work in an environment where my parents support me. I am now living happily with my child as a single mother.